Did you know that astronomers currently estimate there are over 100 million billion star systems within our galaxy alone? This leads to an intriguing question. What if one of them is already here? Imagine if something had traveled billions of miles through space, suddenly locked onto Earth with a signal, and then vanished from NASA's radar without a trace. Stay with us, because what unfolds next is mind-blowing. In the chilly, still hours before dawn, deep in the California desert, NASA's Deep Space Network detected something unprecedented, a signal, clear and intentional, pulsing from the dark expanse between stars. It wasn't just static, it wasn't mere noise. It had a structure, a perfectly repeating rhythm resonating across the void, directed straight at us. This is no ordinary antenna farm. The Deep Space Network serves as Earth's ear, a collection of enormous ultra-sensitive dishes listening for the faintest whispers from our deep space probes like Voyager. Waiting for something new, something structured and unknown. That's the moment the world shifts. If you're intrigued by the enigma of 3I Atlas and crave more mind-bending cosmic stories, hit that like button and show the universe you're watching. Every click helps sustain the pursuit of the unknown. This transmission originated from the interstellar traveler known as 3I Atlas, an object already notorious for defying all known laws of celestial mechanics. The pulse lasted precisely 11 seconds, each cycle repeating with uncanny precision every 47 minutes, as if counting down to something significant. In mission control, the atmosphere electrified. Engineers repeatedly checked their instruments, no glitches, no interference. What they were hearing was genuine. Strangely, the signal was not fading. It was intensifying, tripling in strength over just 5 hours. As though something within that hollow traveler was stirring, charging up, preparing for what came next. So, the question looms. Was this a greeting, a warning, or the beginning of something beyond our comprehension? Stick with us, because what follows will challenge everything we thought we understood about the universe. When NASA's Deep Space Network first locked onto the pulse from 3I Atlas, many assumed it must be a glitch, perhaps background noise, or a stray echo from a distant satellite. But once the signal was analyzed, everything changed. The transmission arrived at 1.42 gigahertzes, the precise frequency of hydrogen, the universe's most abundant element. Astronomers refer to it as the water hole, a calm zone in the cosmic spectrum where intelligent civilizations are most likely to send messages. Why? Because hydrogen is universal. It's the simplest, most fundamental atom. Any species that develops the technology to observe the stars would recognize its signature. It's the cosmic greeting, a frequency so obvious it's akin to broadcasting on the universe's primary channel. Whoever transmitted this signal intended for it to be understood. However, it wasn't merely a tone. It was a message laden with complexity. Within each 11-second pulse were layers of hidden sophistication, nested modulations, recurring subpatterns, and mathematical rhythms suggesting encoded data. Picture Morse code, but on a scale billions of times more advanced, unraveling across multiple timelines, bringing structure to silence. When we mention nested modulations, we refer to information concealed within other information. It's like opening an email that contains a zip file, which holds a document that has a hyperlink to a complete database. It illustrates a staggering level of data compression and intelligence. This wasn't just a beep, it was a library. NASA enlisted cryptographers, radio engineers, and artificial intelligence specialists to decode it. After countless simulations and cross-checks, one conclusion sent chills through every lab on Earth. The likelihood that this signal was artificial exceeded 99%. Therefore, if it wasn't random and it wasn't natural, then someone or something out there was purposefully attempting to communicate. Stay tuned, because what happened next transformed the cosmic mystery into humanity's greatest fear. 3 days after that initial detection, just as scientists began mapping the repeating patterns, something unimaginable transpired. The signal transformed. It didn't cease. It evolved. What was once a broad cosmic broadcast suddenly narrowed into a focused beam. Targeted, measured, intentional. For an entire 8 minutes, every sensor from Goldstone to Arecibo confirmed the same impossible truth. 3I Atlas wasn't merely transmitting. It was specifically targeting. The beam was locked directly onto Earth. To grasp the physics at play here, natural radio emissions disperse in all directions like ripples in water, diminishing in strength with distance. But this was precision. It resembled a laser pointer, Someone or something possessed the ability to concentrate electromagnetic energy across billions of miles with surgical precision. This is a technology that humanity has only barely mastered on our own planet, much less from a moving object in space. Yet this object had traveled from the stars. Engineers ran the calculations repeatedly. The orientation of 3I Atlas, the vector of the beam, and Earth's position in space all lined up perfectly. This wasn't mere coincidence. It was intention. And here's what terrified NASA the most: the timing. The shift occurred merely 9 days before the object was scheduled to pass behind the sun, completely shrouded from observation, almost as if it were signaling, "Watch closely before I disappear." Was it a greeting, a warning, or a countdown? The deeper NASA investigated, the more the universe seemed to respond back. By dawn on October 21st, the atmosphere within NASA shifted from curiosity to mounting panic. The signal was authentic, directional, and gaining strength. Yet instead of announcing their discovery to the world, something peculiar transpired. A silence enveloped everything. No press release, no statements, no leaks. Every live feed froze within NASA control rooms. Screens that once displayed telemetry now showed a single word: restricted. Whispers began circulating about a secret contingency strategy known as the Discovery Protocol. This classified framework had been devised years earlier following the Oumuamua incident, outlining a step-by-step procedure for what to do if we ever detected evidence of extraterrestrial technology. Step 1. Verify the data. Step 2. Alert military and government contacts. Step 3. A 72-hour blackout before any public disclosure. Officially, it's to prevent misinformation. Unofficially, it's to buy time. But here's where the fear began to ripple out. Those 72 hours elapsed, followed by 5 days. Still no word from NASA, the European Space Agency, or even China's observatories. The entire scientific community went dark simultaneously. Then one individual broke the silence. Astrophysicist Avi Loeb, director of the Galileo project, posted a statement that swiftly went viral among insiders. "We are witnessing institutional paralysis in the face of the extraordinary. This is not how science behaves. This is how fear behaves." What could possibly terrify every major space agency into remaining silent? Stay with us, because in the next segment, the story shifts from secrecy to something far more disturbing. As the silence deepened and observational facilities around the globe remained quiet, one theoretical physicist chose to speak out, not to alleviate the fear, but to confront it. He proposed 3 possible explanations for 3I Atlas's behavior, each more unsettling than the last. The first he termed the Benin hypothesis, suggesting that 3I Atlas could merely be an ancient probe, a long-forgotten machine dispatched by a civilization that has since vanished. Its signal might just serve as a status beacon, a gentle acknowledgement, whispering across the ages, "I see you. I recognize your presence." If that were the case, we are not in peril. We are merely another entry in its cosmic logbook. The second theory was the warning hypothesis. According to this perspective, the signal's timing just before the object's closest approach to the sun wasn't coincidental. The physicist proposed that the hollow body of 3I Atlas might house smaller probes. While it traverses behind the solar glare, the only opportunity when no telescope on Earth can observe it, the message could be a simple but chilling alert: do not interfere. But the third scenario, which silenced the room, was the test hypothesis. This entire series of events was a stress test for humanity, a way to gauge how we respond under cosmic strain, to assess if we collaborate or crumble, to observe our fear, secrecy, or choices. Consider this: are we a species that freely shares information, or do we hoard it out of fear? Do we unite as a planet, or do our national borders shape our reactions? This hypothesis implies that the visitors are not interested in our technology. Rather, they are intrigued by our psychology, because, as the physicist cautioned, humanity's reactions have not been characterized by courage, but by silence and panic. So, what if we aren't the observers at all, but the experiment? The following clue suggests that 3I Atlas may not just be signaling us, it could already be watching us. As more data emerged, each new piece only added to the enigma. The deeper scientists delved into 3I Atlas, the stranger it became, until one undeniable truth emerged. This entity wasn't behaving like any recorded comet or asteroid. It was hollow, its internal density not aligning with solid rock. As it entered the solar system, It decelerated something no natural object could achieve without propulsion. This is a crucial point that contradicts our understanding of gravity. An object falling toward the sun should accelerate under its enormous gravitational pull. To slow down indicates that something is counteracting that force, requiring an engine, a solar sail, or some form of non-gravitational propulsion. It's akin to a rock rolling downhill that suddenly decides to stop and reverse its path. Its trajectory aligned nearly perfectly with the ecliptic plane, deviating by just a few degrees, a precision that would challenge even our most advanced spacecraft. Then came the visual anomalies during its flyby of Mars. Its timing was so precise that scientists calculated the odds of coincidence at less than 1 in 50,000. Spectral readings revealed faint green emissions, chemical signatures unheard of in any naturally occurring element. Then came the signal itself, a coherent structure transmitted at the hydrogen frequency, the universal language of the cosmos. Taken together, these shattered any illusions of randomness. One anomaly might be dismissed, but collectively, they painted a troubling picture. 3I Atlas was not a comet. It was a machine, something engineered, something ancient traversing interstellar space with intent. And if that intent involved us, then first contact wasn't a future event. It had already begun. As 3I Atlas neared the sun, it began to exhibit behavior that defied every law of physics, prompting even NASA's brightest minds to question the very nature of reality. On October 24th, just hours before 3I Atlas was scheduled to slip behind the sun, telescopes worldwide aligned with its trajectory. Everything appeared stable, consistent speed, constant rotation, unchanging pulsing signal. But then, without warning, it abruptly stopped. The transmission ceased mid-cycle, the signal dropped out halfway through a pulse. NASA's emergency tracking system simulated orbital drift, solar scattering, and gravitational lensing. But there was no rational explanation. The data displayed the object not moving away, but rather seeming to cease existing. Then something even stranger occurred. For 47 minutes, the precise cycle of the original signal, every deep space network antenna, across 3 continents, detected a faint electromagnetic echo. It didn't originate from the direction of the sun. It was emanating from within Earth's orbit, as if the signal hadn't vanished at all, but had simply relocated. Some scientists speculated about a light-speed signal lag, while others whispered of dimensional interference. However, one classified memo leaked online with just 5 words that caused worldwide panic. Object possibly entered local space. So where did 3I Atlas go? Did it burn up behind the sun, or did it move somewhere closer than anyone dares to acknowledge? 47 minutes after the disappearance of 3I Atlas, the silence shattered. NASA's Deep Space Network registered a sudden surge, a burst of electromagnetic noise, so powerful it overloaded multiple receivers. But when the data was filtered, it revealed more than just noise. It contained a message. Hidden within the static were repeating patterns identical to the original 3I Atlas pulse, but altered. The structure had changed, as if modulated by something unknown. Engineers quickly realized this signal was no longer emanating from deep space. The origin point was triangulated somewhere near Earth's orbit and moving not orbiting the sun, but circling us. The pattern revolved around the planet every 47 minutes, perfectly matching the interval of the earlier transmission. Simply put, something was orbiting Earth, broadcasting the same message 3I Atlas had sent. Yet now, it held more. In the gaps between the repeating pulses were short bursts of data binary sequences which, when decoded, produced a grid of coordinates. These locations were random points across Earth's oceans, deserts, and polar regions. No explanations, no recognizable meanings, just an expanding list of sites forming a pattern discernible only from orbit, a spiral. This is where the mystery transitions to terrestrial matters. Is this a mathematical construct, like a galactic fingerprint, based on the Fibonacci sequence? Or something more concerning? Some experts feared it functioned as an activation map, indicating hidden locations, perhaps ley lines or energy reserves, on Earth itself. The signal had morphed from a simple greeting into a map. NASA denied everything, labeling it a misread transmission. Nevertheless, internal documents leaked the next morning contradicted this. The echoes were genuine, and each time the signal cycled around Earth, it intensified. It was as if something or someone were syncing with our planet. So, what if 3I Atlas never truly disappeared? What if it simply transformed? The next segment reveals the final transmission. NASA attempted to erase one, suggesting we were never the observers. Just before dawn on October 25th, an encrypted file emerged on a private server linked to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It lasted a mere 27 seconds and was labeled simply as Atlas Last Wave. Within hours, it was deleted, but a few astronomers managed to save a copy. When decrypted, the file disclosed something unexpected. It wasn't random static. It was structured, layered, containing both audio and visual data embedded within the waveform. A dual encoding format typically employed in deep space communications. Decoding frame by frame, an image began to unfold. A rotating spherical object, metallic, perfectly symmetrical, and at its center. In the days following the vanishing of 3I Atlas, a quiet panic rippled through observatories worldwide. Numerous independent astronomers began cross-examining historical data, and what they uncovered transformed this mystery from an isolated incident into a trend that spans human history. Archived sky surveys dating back over half a century revealed faint, repeating anomalies, objects with similar light curves, identical rotation periods, and the same peculiar hydrogen frequency pulses. Each one appeared momentarily near our sun before vanishing. The earliest trace photographic plates dated back to 1957, the same year humanity launched its first artificial satellite. The interval between each occurrence was always precise and synchronized. Every 23 years, almost to the day, one of these interstellar visitors arrives, transmits for a brief period, and disappears. When scientists plotted the entry vectors of these objects, a chilling realization took form. All originated from the same area in deep space, a fixed coordinate near the constellation Lyra. Mathematicians analyzed the data statistically, establishing that this could not possibly be random. Someone or something has been monitoring us, not just in the present, but for decades, possibly centuries. Some researchers speculate the purpose is benign, that we are being observed like a young civilization under cosmic quarantine. Others fear the opposite, that we are being cataloged and studied until a decision is reached. Perhaps 3I Atlas was not the first or the last. Maybe it was simply the next probe in an ongoing survey that records our technology, our behaviors, our fears, and our silence. Because if the 23-year cycle holds true, then the next visitor will arrive sooner than we might think. So the question lingers. Are we truly alone in the universe? Or are we already part of someone else's experiment? This entire narrative, this unsettling sequence of events, delivers one profound lesson. The greatest discoveries in human history won't be found in comfort. They will emerge in the extraordinary, in the anomalies. Our instinct may be to fear what we cannot comprehend, to classify it, to conceal it, or to respond with silence, just as global agencies did. However, as scientists, explorers, and human beings, our true mission is to approach the unknown with curiosity, to share information openly, and to confront the extraordinary not with fear, but with the courage to ask the next question. Because silence in the presence of such a significant mystery constitutes our greatest failure. What do you think? Was 3I Atlas a test, a warning, or merely an ancient machine passing by? Share your theory in the comments below. And if you wish to continue exploring the most significant what-ifs in the cosmos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a transmission.